Hey folks, q.Factor here, bringing another audio commentary today between Q.Factor, the yellow elf in the 10 o'clock position, and Kai, the blue human in the 2 o'clock position. I've started this game off at 1 minute, just so that it can all fit into one YouTube video. I think that's sort of more important to me, because I can't be bothered to split this video up and then put it on all the parts. I figure I may as well just skip the first minute. Nothing important really happened there, I can assure you. And as you can see, a scout farm going down in Q.Factor space immediately, and Ancient of War creeping is about to go on, you can tell here. But I think one of the most interesting things that's happening is that we're seeing a Mountain King first. This isn't hugely unusual, but it's not sort of standard. Obviously, Archmage is fairly standard against Elf. You do see Mountain King is probably the second most common, but I prefer the Archmage generally. And as you can see, very standard creeping here. It's a bit harder to creep on the left than on the right if you want Ancient of War creep here, because obviously you don't have this nice little island here with all the trees nearby, but it is still very possible, and I imagine we're going to see Q.Factor do a perfectly good job, hopefully not lose any creeps to the actual Ancient of War. And a very spaced out base as well, you can see he's building here. By building your moon walls all along sort of your half of the map, just along this stretch here really, means that you're always quite close to healing if you're in need of healing. And also it means that if you are tower rushed, then they can't catch all your buildings within the range of the towers, and so you can run around a bit and still be okay. You can see he's actually tanking a bit here on his Demon Hunter, but thankfully that does stop eventually as soon as the Ancient of War gets there, and he does get his level 2. Meanwhile, I mentioned Mountain King's will be very close to level 2 at this point. Yep, and sorry, excuse me. And some nice creeping going on here. Just you see he's pulled back that footman just because he doesn't. Ideally, you want the militia to tank. I'm not sure why militia get 4 armor when footmen only get 2. It's a bit. I've always thought that was a bit odd, because surely these things just covered in armor should have more than sort of the builders who occasionally put on a bit of metal just for a couple minutes. And an expansion going up here, and this is something that's not uncommon, but building the Tree of Life before you finish creeping, it just sort of saves a bit of time, and as long as you know you can creep it, you're not going to get jacked. It's well worth it. And surprisingly, he hasn't rooted this Ancient of War. I'm not sure what he's planning on doing with it. Generally, you need to build a couple of archers, but I guess if he's going to pick up some mercs, which he can actually now, because Kai came in and stole the Berserker, which is a very important merc. But it looks like he will lose his peasant, although the peasant will now scout the expansion, so not going too badly for Kai at this point. And Mountain King almost level 3 now. We'll probably try and get level 3 now. He's just going straight for the push, and looks like he might get bolts around here. Yep, he does. And let's see if he gets close to this round. Yeah. So that's very bad for Q.Factor's point. He'll probably have to TP out. He's so close to level 3 that it's not really something you want to do. He could have actually tried to kill, got one more hit on the Berserker, but I guess he was worried about Bash or something. And an expansion going down for Kay here as well, and it looks like Key will try and cancel this Tree of Life because he had scouted it before, and he'll probably ignore the units altogether. Yeah, and he just goes for the Tree of Life. And Ancient of War, sort of a bit of protection here, but not enough clearly. And I'm not sure he'll even lose a unit here in his killing of this Tree of Life. He will cancel it, and it seems like he's just going to get away scot-free, so very nice there by him. And meanwhile in his base we can see he's putting up another barracks here and not teching, so we're probably going to see some sort of aggression here. And it is possible to support a number of, you can support quite a few production buildings when you have 2 expansions up, especially with just footmen, which obviously 135 gold, so cheap to build. You can probably tech while doing this if he really wants to. And no more experience on that Demon Hunter. Level 3 would be quite useful, because with the Mountain King, generally it's only at the beginning of the battle he's useful against a Demon Hunter, but once he's run out of mana he's completely useless. So the faster the Demon Hunter can drain his mana, the faster he can make it completely useless. And it looks like this Berserker actually getting himself trapped a bit. That's a bit careless there. I guess he thought he was getting away, but he didn't. And now level 3 on the Demon Hunter, and will he get, yes he does get a burn, although ooh, a bash there, very nice. Not quite enough to surround though. He might get, yeah, he does get the surround again, although Mountain King forced to run away just because too low health, and Demon Hunter very high health and healing. So slightly better for Q.Factor now, and a third barracks going up here for Key, and I like how he's hidden them as well. He's not putting them out front. He's not being showy by the number of footmen he has. Clearly he's trying to sort of surprise him. He's using militia as well to sort of pretend that he needs the extra help with his force. But a panda now here, and this is going to be very good against the footmen. Obviously area of effect is so useful, and this expansion might now go down his... Yes, and Q.Factor is trying to counter expand, but obviously it's much later now, and he lost a lot of gold in the building of the first one and having to cancel it. And we haven't seen a breath of fire yet. Oh no, we have, sorry. But on the peasants, and a nice surround there on the Demon Hunter. Looks like it will go down because there's no staff on the panda yet, which is a bit careless. Against the Mountain King, it's always wise to go for a staff, to buy a staff. And some militia coming in here, and I think Q.Factor's probably realizing sort of what's happening now. Just sort of all these footmen are coming in. You can see it is really sort of Warcraft's 2 style, really. Just sort of massing footmen staying at tier 1. You can see he's put a lot of farms around his base. This is because he knows he doesn't want Q.Factor to get something like bears and just be able to take out his main without without being killed. At just sort of ignoring all the footmen and just going for the base, which is sort of a possibility. And so instead of towers, which would obviously wouldn't be that useful, you can just build farms around it, and that really stalls for so much time that it's well worth it if you're going for something like that. Alternatively, if you're going to upgrade your expansion, which is sort of a good idea in that it gives it extra hit points, you should probably build some farms around your main just to protect it a bit more. And as you can see, actually, this farm's still up in Q.Factor's base. I'd have taken that down by now. But an Ancient of Lore going down, so yeah, he is tier 2 and not going for tier 3, so probably going for Dryads, which I'm not sure if those are really the right choice at this point. What he really needs to do now is he needs to stall for time. He needs to let his expansion catch him up in terms of economy, and then just produce higher tier units. And I think Dryads aren't the right thing in this case, because defend just destroys Dryads. I think maybe a mixture of dots and Dryads and huntresses maybe, or he doesn't really have the time to go to chimeras. I think maybe lots of Ancient of Wars, just spamming them would really be good in terms of buying some time, and then actually leaving them rooted as well, so that they had higher armor, because obviously every unit here is melee apart from that one berserker, so they have to attack it, and so that would really stall for time. And it looks like this trade life's just going to go down to this massive footman here, and Q.Factor is coming in to attack now, but I'm not sure this is a wise choice. I think he should wait a bit longer. He'd be willing to lose his expansion just to buy some more time, because look, all he has is really an archer, a dryad, and a couple of heroes, and that's really obviously no match. And this panda will get staffed out. He has bought a staff finally, and oh no, but he's bolted just at the right time. It was very nice by the Mountain King there, but the panda's only level 1, so it'll be back soon. And you can see defend has been research now, and this is just such bad news. You see actually a dryad just killed itself there. If you go, and the Demon Hunter goes down as well, so some really lucky bashes on in one part, I think, and also just some really nice play here by Kai. And I think it's probably quite wise for him to just salve up now. He knows he has time, and he knows he's going to have trouble making the next push, because the next push will have to be into the main, and he has to make that as soon as he can, because the longer he waits, the higher level the panda will get, and just sort of it's all bad news. And actually going for bears now and master training, I'm not sure this is the right choice, just because he's only going to have 2 bears out by the time the attack comes. And yeah, you can see the expansion is down, and here comes the attack. And the bears, they're adept training, but he hasn't even finished tier 3. He's just about to finish now. It's going to be quite nice. His panda's going to work out quite well. If it was a higher level, it'd be particularly nice. But we get surrounded, but he is near his Ancient of Wonders, so he should be able to he staffs it back. He bought his Demon Hunter back at the tavern, so very wise choice. You really try and get his heroes up against sort of a wall or some buildings or something that can attack, and just so he reduces the surface area. But Kai just going for the Tree of Eternity. It's gonna be quite hard for him to take that down, and he decides instead to go for the units. And as you can see, it looks like he might get surrounded here. He should uproot this Ancient of Wonders to get out. And oh wow, it's like he listened to me. Orb of Venom on the Demon Hunter now, obviously very important. Very nice Breath of Fire. They're obviously easy to get Breath of Fires off of this point. But Orb of Venom, yes, just so effective. And this is a good place for Demon Hunter to fight. Obviously, it's not a great situation, but of the bad situations, this is probably the best because he's up against the Moonwell. If he could move a bit further up, he'd be a bit better off, but he does go down, and level 5 on the Mountain King, and this game is probably over now. I think quite an interesting game. Someone just left it in the comments recommending that I check it out, and I'm glad I did. I think it was quite an interesting game, so I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks.